welcome to the J&J Sip and Say. Jill, it's just past mid-January, and it's time to check in on those New Year's resolutions that everybody makes. How's
Probably hasn't kept.
Probably not, based on some statistics I was looking at earlier today. So doing a little research for the show. Guess how many New Year's resolutions are basically stopped, or people will quit doing them by February?
80%.
Did you look at the notes?
Yeah, I did.
See, when we do the show at suspense, you could say, "Oh, I don't know,
thought
Jake."
you had a specific percent, like 86 or something.
No,
so
it
I
was
was just
80.
going with a rounded
It
figure.
was 80.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Anyways, glad that was suspenseful. 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February.
That's not surprising.
I thought it'd be a little less than that.
No, January is a long month. There's 31 days.
It is 31 days. Guess how many how many actually succeed throughout the whole year?
Oh, like 10%?
8%.
Okay, I was close.
So 8 out of 100 people who say, I want to do whatever, actually make it the whole year. So if you're one of those people that has a resolution and you made it last year, congratulations. You are in
But I
these.
just wonder what these resolutions are that people are able to keep.
Well, interesting you said that. I was able to find the most common New Year's resolutions that are proposed and probably not kept.
Proposed or kept?
Proposed.
It has to be working out or weight loss.
Exercise more, lose weight, eat healthier. Those all go together. Get organized, learn a new skill or hobby, live life to the fullest, save money, better budgeting, quit smoking, spend more time with family and friends, travel more, read more. And it looks like a couple others. Volunteer. But yeah, I would say half these are related to health, losing weight, eating healthier. You know, the cliche ones. And I know it's a huge pet peeve of yours when you're at the gym and when you're at the YMCA in January.
It's only a pet peeve because I am a very loyal YMCA member.
You're very disciplined when it comes to working out.
So I'm there at least 3 to 4 times a week, every week, 52 weeks out of the year.
I'll vouch for that.
So it is slightly annoying when it comes January, and you ask anybody else that is as loyal as I am, they get annoyed too. When it comes January, and then all these people show up that you've never seen and or haven't seen them in like 6 months.
Since the previous February.
Probably. And I get, everybody wants to, oh yeah, new year, new me, all this stuff. And great, more power to you. But I know, because I've seen it firsthand, come mid-February or maybe they'll last till spring break, I'm not going to see you again. That's the annoying part, I guess. As everybody floods in January, they work out hardcore for like 6 weeks, and then bam, they're gone.
Playing devil's advocate, though, someone might be like you and who is going to be disciplined, and they decide to start at the beginning of the year. You can't give those people a hard time.
I don't, but that doesn't typically happen.
You think it's the 80% rule there too?
Yes. And I remember when I moved here and I wanted to join the Y, I joined in October because I was like, I don't want to wait any long and be one of those January people that show up in January and everything's full and crowded. So I was thinking.
Well, I'm glad to see that you didn't want to be hypocritical about it.
And you did it too. When we got a couples membership, we got it in like November, December.
I think it was November.
You did the same thing. Maybe not for the same reason, but we did the same thing.
Yeah, I started going real regularly in November of 2018. I saw a big influx of people in January, and then by I would say early to mid-February, it seemed like it really started to get back to the same 90% people you saw before New Year's.
And you just wonder why people fall off the bandwagon. Because and granted, this is coming from someone that is a regular at the Y and I exercise a ton, but my eating is not the best most of the time.
It's incredible how disciplined you are with your exercise, and how much lack of discipline you have when it comes. Not like you like eat a ton of food. It's your I call it your grazing.
I do graze a lot.
I don't think you can walk by the pantry without at least grabbing some Chex Mix or something.
Okay, on a side note, let's have a little tangent here. So Jake he'll call me out on my snacking and grazing, which is fine. But so sometimes if Jake's already getting ready for bed, or you're already getting ready for bed, and I always let Louie out every night. When I let Louie out, and then I go check on Blair and, put a blanket on him or something, turn off his fan, shut his door, whatever. And then I go back out to the kitchen and Louie's not back yet. I will most likely slip over to the pantry and I'll stand in the pantry, which anybody that's been to our house, we have a decent size. I mean, you can literally stand in the pantry, and I'll stand and I'll get maybe a handful of cereal or a couple chips or something, and I'll eat it, and I'll be standing in the pantry facing all the food, and then I'll turn around and my creep of a husband is just standing right there behind me, just staring at me. I have no idea that he snuck up on me.
What makes you want to eat something right before you go to bed?
Because it tastes good. Remember, I'm not an emotional eater. I'm not like the people on my 600-pound life that have all this trauma or depression and anxiety and abuse, and then you have to squash all those emotions by eating is the only thing that makes them feel good. No, I've told you, I like to eat those things because they taste good.
Right.
It doesn't release some oxytocin in me or something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I just feel so much better.
Well, I guess
eating.
For me, if I know I'm getting ready to brush my teeth, the last thing I want to do is eat something.
Okay, but you don't notice me standing in there eating some carrots or something. It's always cereal or chips.
Yeah. So I just can't believe how disciplined you are with your ex. You're more disciplined to get up, go to the Y, work out for an hour, and drive there, drive back, then make one bypass of the pantry without opening the door and just going straight to bed.
And it doesn't help that I do stay home with Blair, and there's always food available, and I don't feel like we keep that unhealthy of food here.
No,
but it's just something I boredom eat. I know that. Because when I worked, I could only eat what I took to work. So I'd only pack a few things in my lunch. And that's all I could have all day. But here I'm here's a handful of cereal. Here's a couple Pringles. And have you noticed, and I've told you this before, the individually wrapped things, I have a harder time pursuing those because of the act of actually opening something up and eating it. I'm like, oh, I don't think I should have that. But if a box of cereal's open, it's real easy to stick your hand in there and just
keep the door shut. See, that's because I listen to a lot of podcasts,
but I know the food's in there.
I think.
Are you gonna put a lock on it?
I can, or I just put it on the top shelf. You couldn't reach it.
That's true. We'll just move all the food up.
You'll get a ladder. The reason I think so many people have so many problems with the simplest, hey, I want to eat better. It's not hard to not eat. It's really not. It's not hard to eat healthier. You buy healthier food, you eat healthier food. Most people's problem is discipline. These are not hard tasks to do. Let's see here. Exercise more. That's not hard to do. Doesn't really cost money. All you gotta do is get up and do it, right? If you have the discipline.
Well, that could be the case for anything.
Eat healthier. It's not hard to eat healthier. You buy healthier food. It's not a complicated process is what I'm saying. It's the discipline that it takes to make yourself do it every day. I think that's why so many people give up on their resolutions, because that's the hard part. It's not the act of doing whatever. It's the discipline of staying on track. You agree with that?
Why do I feel like you're lecturing me right
I'm
now?
just am I right? Do you think I'm right on it, or am I off kilter?
Oh, I know what to do to eat healthier.
Well, I'm not saying just you. I'm saying people in general.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
certain things
But
I like.
I really do think some people out there have no clue because they don't know anything different besides eating junk all day.
True. But there's ways to get educated on, healthier eating or whatever. But I think a large population of the people that want to get healthier, they know what to do. It's just the act of doing it. Like for me, people are always like, well, I want to get up earlier each day. It's not hard to get up earlier. You just go to bed earlier, but it takes the discipline to go to bed earlier the night before. So it's not hard to go to bed the night or get up the next morning. I think having that discipline is the hard part. And I think people set these goals and they don't make a plan.
I think some people go on these diets and they're so hardcore, and that's not how real life works. You have to have some balance. They're like, I'm not going to eat sugar for a month. Okay, so what happens after that month? Are you just going to like binge on sugar?
Right. You have to have a plan, I think, is important. I think you have to I think you should focus more on habits rather than saying I'm going to do, say I want to lose 100 pounds this year, just for example. You should focus on the small habits that are going to help you get there instead of your end goal. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, having an attainable goal.
Each day I want to eat X amount of vegetables, or each day I want to, not eat this or exercise, 3-4 days a week. And I think another thing on the exercise, I think people do things that they don't want to do. And I found this out
when you tried swimming?
Yes. And we've talked about this before. I was like, I'm going to start swimming. That's going to be my form of exercise. It's supposed to be good for you. It's, easy on your joints. I'm like, I'm going to start swimming. I hate it. It's terrible.
Because it's hard.
It's very difficult. I don't think, even if I was pretty good at it, I don't think I'd like it because it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. How you guys don't go crazy when you swam competitively, I don't know. So
we did go crazy.
The nice thing was because I was swimming quite a bit, I got running more and more, and then I discovered, oh, hey, I really enjoy running.
Okay, but you talk about swimming back and forth in a pool, but you would go and run like 4 miles around the tiny track at the Y, which 1 mile is like 18 laps.
A lot of times I would listen to a podcast.
Okay, so you can't listen to anything. Do you want to get one of those like waterproof headsets?
It might help, but honestly, I'm such a bad swimmer. I really don't get that many laps in before I take a breath and I can hear the music, over the.
I would say you swim down, take a break, swim down, take a break.
It's rough.
But you get what I'm saying. You don't want to swim back and forth in a pool, even if you're good at it. But you'll go run like 70 laps around some small track, and it's no big deal.
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
But I enjoy running. It's something I found. And I think, some people are like, oh, well, I want to start going to spin class. Well, if you go to spin class and really don't like it after a couple times, maybe try something else. Find an exercise that you like. Find something you really enjoy class exercise.
Yeah.
I particularly don't. I do enjoy spin class, but I wouldn't want to go to a strength class. But you like that, so you go do that.
Yeah, because someone else tells me what to do.
That way you don't really have to think about it. That works for you. I think so many people feel like they have to do a certain exercise or certain, maybe.
Or they're like, I'm going to go and get on the elliptical for an hour. Like, that sounds like torture to me. But I guess if that's your thing.
If it's your thing, it works great. But don't think you have to do that. Or, I enjoy running. I'm at the point I can go out and run 6-7 miles. I don't think you have to do that. Maybe you're a really good swimmer. You enjoy swimming. Maybe you just want to walk. You just need to find something that works for you. Maybe you want to go play basketball. You kind of do a lot though. You run, you do spin, you swim.
I lift.
What don't you like to do? Or are you just a workout fiend?
I don't like the elliptical.
Elliptical's
And I would
terrible.
not run around that indoor track.
Even with like a radio or podcast on?
No, what is your deal with listening to podcasts while I run?
I-
I don't want to listen to a podcast.
It's the best.
I'd rather just listen to music. I zone out to music. And if I were to zone out during a podcast, then I'd have to rewind it. I already have to do that when I listen to them sometimes anyways.
See, when I run my podcasts, I get wrapped up in that, and I think I kind of forget about the running sometimes.
See, but I just think about other stuff.
Well, no, I guess that's my time. Like, I kind of just clear my head, I listen to my podcasts, and I just cruise down the pathway.
So that's a negative. I'm not going to listen to a podcast while I run.
So when you zone out,
that doesn't get me like pumped up, like, oh, I'm going to go run 6 miles, but I'm going to listen to this episode about this girl getting killed.
Well, I listen to different podcasts than you.
Okay, well, I don't want to listen to your podcast.
So if you zone out so much, do you even listen to the music?
It just depends. There could be a song that came on, and it could get to the end of it, and I'd be like, oh, I don't even remember that song starting, because I'm just thinking about something. So if I was listening to a podcast, I'd have to go rewind it 2 or 3 minutes.
And that brings up a good point. Do something like if you want to run and you like music, listen to music. If you want to listen to podcasts, listen to podcasts.
You always try to get me to listen to a podcast while I run.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm just telling people. Do what works for you. I'll give you a hard time about it because we're married. But, some people I've ran quite a few times without anything.
Yeah, no, that's a negative for me.
I enjoy a podcast more.
That's gonna be a no dog for me.
You like to hear your own breathing?
No, not at all. That's torture.
It's not bad if you're running somewhere new, where it's like scenic, like state parks or something. It's not bad.
That's still gonna be a no dog from me.
And if you do, say you're going to work out 3 days a week and you miss a couple weeks, that's okay. Hop back up,
Well, I think people just think, oh, well, I've already missed a week. What's the point going back now?
And once you miss that couple days, it's a lot easier to make that excuse for day 3, day 4.
And I've had to rearrange my workout schedule who knows how many times based off classes and being a working person to now a stay-at-home mom and just rearranging everything. But I can't imagine not doing it because I get in such a routine that I just know that time is reserved for that. So I'd almost feel guilty or weird during that time if I was not doing it.
Yeah, I think you're at the point. You feel weird if you don't work out.
And it doesn't take that long to get to that point. It takes 21 days to create a new habit.
That's a good point.
And even Blair is on the routine too.
And it's great. And some people, their work schedule might vary. For me, I got where I was running. I was like, I got to run in the morning. I'm a morning person. Well, when the weather got colder and it was, 15 degrees at 8 a.m., I had to adjust. And for me, it was how I ate before I ran. I always liked to eat a light meal, an hour and a half, 2 hours before I ran, so I could adjust my schedule. Like, oh, hey, I'm going to run at 4 o'clock today, so I'm going to eat at 2. That was really, just adjusting how your schedule is so you can get something in. And you kind of got to be flexible, but, stick to a routine in a way, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, don't let your work get in the way.
Yep, I learned that lesson the hard way, but at least I learned it. And if you're working out or, whatever your resolution is, eating healthier, it's okay to adjust your goals too. If you initially say, hey, I'm going to go work out 4 days a week or, I want to do read X amount of hours a week and you find it really conflicts with other things, make adjustments. You don't have to stick to a 100% plan if it's going to cause you not to do anything.
Yeah, there's nobody that goes around at the end of the year and, gives you a grade on your resolution.
I mean, as long as you're doing something, it's okay to adjust. It's okay to make changes to your routine or, your goals, especially if it's going to affect other things in your life, whether it be family or, if you're married and have kids, you can't come home and go work out for 6 hours a night.
No.
So, how about your Your resolutions this year. You got any big major ones, Jill?
I don't consider them major. There's one that you and I both agreed on, and we've already missed a week of it.
But we haven't quit on it.
We'll make up for it another week. No, did you want me to explain it?
They would probably appreciate that.
Well, all I said was, because I know in the past year, pretty much since Blair's been around, I don't read as much as I used to.
I read more last year than you did.
Yes, I know. We've done podcasts on it. You're such an avid reader now.
That is crazy to think that.
Okay, Charles Dickens. Anyways,
I had to get glasses because I read so much.
you've had glasses for 10 years.
I got thicker ones.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I just read so much it hurts my eyes after a while.
Okay. Anyways, back to me. I had the idea for we could do a couples resolution where once a week we could set a timer on our phone and we could sit.
Or we could just look at a clock, 30 minutes.
Okay, whatever. I just like setting a physical time. And we could set the timer for 30 minutes and we could just gaze into each other's eyes.
No, you didn't.
I know, I'm totally kidding. I just wanted to see your reaction.
No, we would never do that. We've been married too long for that.
No, for 30 minutes we would read. Just anything. Whether it's a book, the Bible, nothing on a screen though. I want to hold a physical book.
Well, I use a Kindle, so.
But you didn't when we did it the first week.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I was reading Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life.
Okay, well, maybe the rule for me is no screens because I can't stand reading like that on a screen.
It's not like we're reading on our like articles on our cell phone.
True.
We're reading
like
a
an
book
actual
or a
book.
Kindle book, ebook.
So I don't like that's not that hard to do one night a week, 30 minutes after Blair goes to bed, set a timer and just read.
What's kept us from doing it more?
You mean before this year?
No. We've done it once. Like, do we just
we're
forget
only,
about it?
But we're only 3 weeks in and we've missed 1 week. And we haven't done it yet this week, I guess. But
what keeps us from doing it? Because this is what this whole podcast is about. Like, what?
I don't know, because we're busy people sometimes. I don't know.
Now, I will say, I typically try to read in bed in the evening, but you're not silent. I
The
typically,
S in the SSR.
there's no S with Jill in silent. Because I'll typically...
Well, you had to ask what the second S.
I didn't know what SSR was. It was like a car or something. Like silent...
Sustained. Okay, you didn't know what the first S meant.
Why can't you just say, let's just read for 30 minutes?
I don't, because it's just called a silent read, SSR. Didn't
Okay.
you ever do that in school?
Jill, seriously.
Well, maybe you didn't.
Googling Spark Notes. I typically get in bed before you, and it's when I like to read. And I get a couple minutes in, and you get in bed, and you just start talking. And you've never done this until I really got into
Yes,
reading.
I have.
No,
We've
you
had
did
this
not.
argument before. If you got on your phone before, and I would talk to you, it wasn't a big deal because you weren't trying to actually concentrate on something. But now that you're such an avid reader, air quotes, it's all of a sudden annoying to you that I, ask you a simple question.
We want to do silent reading. I'm over there silently reading.
But that's not our silent reading time.
What's the matter?
That we do it together, and it's a start and a finish.
If you would just get into bed and open up a book, we could read together. But instead, you want to show me pictures of dogs on Facebook.
I don't do that often.
You do. And especially, I'll admit, I'm not the best reader. I feel like I have to reread a lot of things, even if it is quiet. So when you kind of talk to me, I really
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Why can't we 30 minutes a week just set aside time to both of us read and not interrupt each other and not even talk to each other?
Maybe we can do it tomorrow night. Maybe we could try it out tonight when I get into bed and I open
That's
the book.
fine. I just think you think I'm annoying.
I'm just trying to read a little, and like I said, I'm not a very good reader.
So you're not disagreeing with me?
That I'm not a good at reading?
No, that you think I'm annoying.
It's annoying when you're trying to read something, and...
But it's not like this is a new behavior from me.
It is.
It just newly bothers you.
No, you never did it before.
Yes, I did.
Anyways. Did you have any other resolutions for this year?
Not that I can think of.
You did a pretty good one last year. I thought was really impressive and turned out really well for you.
What, just putting myself out there more?
Yeah, and you went and tried different things, and I mean, you did your first 10K. You did a triathlon. You did 2 triathlons, right?
Just one.
Just one.
But
you
2
did
10Ks.
2 10Ks. You've gotten a lot more involved with our church we just started going to.
Mm-hmm.
What else have you done? You went and done
Joined that MOPS group, which I didn't know was Soul there. It's a mom's group.
That's something you wouldn't have done 2-3 years ago.
No.
You went to a cookie decorating class. You didn't know anyone out.
No, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Shout out to Jordan Rhodes if you're looking for a cookie decorating class.
What else did I do? We did the wine and canvas. Well, no, what is it? Cocktails and canvas.
Cocktails and canvas.
Cocktails and canvas.
Yeah,
the
we went and
painting.
did that.
Neither one of us are experienced painters.
I'm not Bob Ross by any means.
I feel like there's something else I did that I'd never done before. I guess I don't know if I would have called it a resolution last January, but it was just kind of I need to go out and do new things and meet new people, and I think I did a really good job of that last year.
Yeah, not being afraid to go try something new, or I mean, you didn't try it. It's not like you went skydiving or anything, but I think for you it was just being around new people. It was kind of
being around new people and being around people I don't know.
Yeah,
because that makes me uncomfortable.
Which I don't get it, because you're really easy to have a conversation. I know we're married, but I've seen you around other people. You're easy to converse with.
But I'm shy around people I don't know.
You're really not shy around me, though, especially when I'm trying to read.
Well, you are my spouse, so if I'm supposed to be 100% myself around anybody, it'd be you.
You should be like that with everyone.
Yeah. There's too much judgment in this world.
No, there's not. There's actually, most people are really good people. You just got to find the right ones.
Oh, I know.
But no, you did a lot of different things last year.
I feel like there's something else I did that I was like, I can't remember. must not have resonated.
It's not been really important.
I don't. Well, and I think having Blair helps because he's kind of like the icebreaker. Like I started taking him to story time last year too, and I don't really like know the other moms at the group, but it's again something that kind of got us out of our comfort zone. And
well, you guys have something in common as soon as you walk in the door.
Well, right, yeah, everybody there has kids, so same with the moms group. I feel like he's kind of my icebreaker, if you will.
Yeah, it was your idea for us to go to church, and that's turned out excellent. And granted, we knew the head man there, but we didn't really know anyone else.
I didn't know anybody else.
But that's just been excellent. Like I said, everyone's been so welcoming there. Anything else on your resolutions, other than reading?
Not really. Like I said, I used to be such a big reader, and then I just have kind of gotten out of it the last few years.
Run out of Harry Potter books.
There's only 8.
That's enough.
So you're going to judge what I read now?
Yeah, after watching those movies, I can imagine reading that. Myself, I'm kind of like you. I don't know if I'd call it resolution, but my goal this year, couple things, I guess. One is just make better habits, and each day do something to improve myself, whether if it's obviously exercise. I'm such a reader now. Even if it's just, a few passages in the Bible. I'm reading, like I said, the Jordan Peterson book. It's an excellent book. Obviously, I think podcasts, you can learn a lot from them. And
especially my true crime ones?
No, not at all. Whoops, dropped my pen. the one thing I've kind of really wanted to get better at is being like situationally aware. Obviously I'm very pro Second Amendment. Shout out to the big rally in Virginia today. Obviously I'm very pro concealed carry, so I want to spend more time at the range. I want to be someone in like the public that if someone's bleeding, someone's having heart issues, I want to be that person that can help and not be on the sideline not knowing what to do. So I've been looking at first aid classes to take in the next month or two, like CPR, how to treat a wound, tourniquet, all that kind of stuff. So I guess that's kind of my, I don't know, resolution, but things I want to focus on improving this year. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the world we live in now.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like you go anywhere, and you kind of feel like you need to be ready to protect yourself, protect your family, and the only way to be, no one will ever know how they're going to react in that situation. But the only thing you can do is train. Go to the range as much as possible. Be ready and know how to take care of medical emergencies. And most importantly is this being situationally aware. Not being on your phone when you're walking down a sidewalk or in a store when someone can come up and, grab a purse or assault you, be in a dark parking lot, any of those situations. I mean, we could do a whole podcast on that, but I just want to get better at that kind of mentality. I want to be a better shooter, be someone who has knowledge how to take care of a medical situation, which right now, honestly, I really don't. And that's why I'm looking in the first aid classes and just do a lot more reading, research on things to look for out in public when you're in big crowds, or even it might be church, it might be Target, it might be whatever. Just being more aware of my surroundings and just trying to keep myself safe and obviously my family safe.
Those sound attainable.
Yeah, just got to do it. And I think the thing for me is just that's priority. It's not, hey, it's Saturday morning, I want to go, do whatever. It's no, Saturday morning I'm going to the range, or this Saturday morning I have a first aid class, or obviously I want to keep exercising because that's important. Can't really be super protective if you're out of shape.
That's very true.
Can't run to a situation if you can't run. So, but those are just some things we've kind of been talking about. New Year's resolutions. I think the word resolution can be overrated. I think you just kind of gotta figure out what you want to do and make the small steps to get to that goal. And they take time. Be patient, Jill. Patience.
No, I don't have that.
You do not. You do not enjoy the process of anything. So like I said, it's mid-January. If you're on track, we had a couple people on Facebook today sticking with their goals. I know we're about 3 weeks in now.
I saw Pastor Dan's no pop for the year.
Nope.
I don't know if I could do that.
No
that
pop.
Sounds like a hard one.
I've already broke that.
That might have been why he was drinking peach punch last night with pizza.
Yes, it's probably pretty good too.
Pop.
Yeah, Dan is 20-some days in, no pop. Tammy Andis, one of your former students' mother, is down 10 pounds already this
Dang, that's pretty impressive.
And our praise leader at church is down 15 pounds so far. Shout out to Jeremy.
Nice.
So
I might have to get with these people to see what
those
they're
people
doing. They're probably not raiding the pantry at 10 o'clock.
They are not getting some checks mixed at 10 p.m.
Okay, but can I tell another side funny story about you?
About me?
And the Reese's Pieces Reese Cups?
Sure.
So I told Jake, because you used to be notorious for this, you would just buy me a bunch of candy to put in my stocking for me.
You always ate it.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I told you this year, I was like, no candy in my stocking. And you abided by that. But I got you a bag for your stocking.
You did.
And I ended up opening it. and I started eating it, and about halfway through the bag, it wasn't in one setting though. It's not like I'll just like sit and eat a whole bag of Reese cups. I just like 2 or 3 here and there for like 5 days. And I think I said, I'm like, will you just eat these so they're out of here and I stop eating them? So I think I even put them on top of the fridge so they'd be just out of my sight. But then I would see them up there and I'm like, oh, I really want one of those. And so you ended up taking the bag and putting it on top of the cabinets that are on top of the fridge.
Even I got to get my tippy toes for that.
So I would literally, if I wanted these Reese Pieces, I would have to go get the step stool to get these Reese Pieces.
Did you ever do that?
No, they're still up there.
No, they're not. I ate them all.
Oh, you did? See, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Because they were out of my sight. But yeah, that's where you hit them.
Because I really love Reese Pieces, but you kept eating them all.
If I can't see, if I don't know that they're there, or if I don't see stuff, then I don't really eat it.
I'm just going to remodel the pantry where everything's over 7 feet high.
I would probably eat less, to be honest. It's too much effort to go get a step stool.
We'll start the remodel this weekend. So, well, everyone with the New Year's resolutions, shout out to those 3 people I mentioned. They're on track. They're getting after it. If you've slipped up, it's okay. You can get back on track. Readjust your goals.
And make another goal.
Readjust it if you have to.
You don't get a grade. No one gets a prize at the end of the year.
Yeah, someone said it. If there's 2 boats going side by side, and if you just veer off just a 1 degree, just a little bit of improvement each day, you'll get a lot farther than if you don't do anything at all. So if you slipped up, it's okay. Get back on, adjust your goals, and if you don't start now, when are you going to start?
Next January.
Yeah, it's too far away. Too far away. So, Jill, cheers.
Make it a great day and sip and say.